I'm going to talk to you today about dynamic stretching. Now, dynamic stretching has been around for quite a while now, but it's not something that necessarily everybody is familiar with. So I'm going to talk about that today. And now, dynamic stretching is basically stretching with movement. That's where the word dynamic comes from. So instead of just holding a stretch and feeling the stretch, we feel the stretch but with movement, slow, controlled movement. So I'm going to give you an example. If we want to stretch out the pecs and the upper back, we can stand with our arms out to the side, stretch right back, cross them over, and then take them back. And this is actually called a standing dynamic pec stretch. So why do we do that? Why not just statically stretch our pecs? Well, the reason being is when we exercise, we want to trigger something called our sympathetic nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system is what gets us primed and ready for exercise. And if we're doing our static stretching, we actually trigger the parasympathetic side of our nervous system, which reduces heart rate, brings our blood pressure down, and just basically chills us out. When you have a good static stretch, you normally feel quite, feel quite relaxed. And that's not how you want to feel when you're about to go do a training session. If you're going to go and play your favourite sport or go and run a 5K or lift some weights, you want to make sure that you are woken up, primed, ready to go. So our sympathetic nervous system does the opposite. It increases our heart rate, increases our blood pressure, and gets us ready. So great thing, great reason why we do dynamic stretching. Now, the other reason is actually it more closely mimics the movements you're going to be doing in your training session. So let's think of a footballer who's going to be doing some kicking in their game of football. Instead of doing a static stretch for the hamstrings, what we can do is actually do some dynamic stretches with some leg swings. Now, when we're doing this, we're triggering the sympathetic nervous system, but we're also mimicking what we're going to be doing in a game, because when you kick a ball, you're going to be stretching the hamstrings and stretching the glutes. So that's why we dynamic stretch. So if you're going to do a workout, play some sport, do some dynamic stretching first, please.